Today, we will briefly outline a set of climate solutions that can be implemented on a very large scale. As shown in the previous video about climate change trends, the challenge is extremely large. Fortunately, technologies exist that can be implemented on a sufficient scale. Now we will introduce a range of proven climate solutions that are complementary to each other and can be scaled up globally to mitigate billions of tons of CO2 emissions. Shown here is a very low-cost energy storage system for wind and solar power. It was developed by Form Energy. This company claims that its energy storage technology can store electricity at less than 1/10 the cost of lithium-ion batteries. They have received more than $950 million in funding to date and have announced that their new large factory in West Virginia will be operational this year. Shown here are some key statements from International Energy Agency or IEA. According to the IEA, renewable energy grew by 50% in 2023 globally, reaching almost 510 gigawatts, with solar PV accounting for 3/4 of additions worldwide. As well, they indicated that global renewable power capacity is now expected to grow to 7,300 gigawatts over the 2023 to 2028 period. Although this is substantial, IEA is indicating that the world needs to go further to triple renewable energy output by 2030, which countries agreed to do at COP28. As well, IEA has estimated that there is 120,000 gigawatts of offshore wind power available, which is a very large amount. Next is turquoise hydrogen, which is hydrogen produced from natural gas along with carbon black. There are several companies around the world that already have facilities operating that produce turquoise hydrogen. One notable one is Monolith Corporation, which was recently awarded $1 billion loan from US government to expand its turquoise hydrogen commercial facilities tenfold. Shown here is a simplified schematic of a facility that combines the production of turquoise hydrogen with renewable energy to produce three valuable products for sale, which are reliable electricity, hydrogen and carbon black. This combination includes hydrogen buffer storage tanks that provide substantial energy storage, which enables the facility to provide reliable electricity when there is limited wind and/or solar power available. Included in this combination is a power management system, which is programmed to sell electrical power to the local electric grid when the manager of this grid is buying electrical power at elevated prices. A very important feature of this configuration of technologies is that it is not dependent on any one technology. There are now multiple options for each technology's area. As a result, companies that want to implement this combination of technologies have many choices and can and should choose their best options. Recycled carbon methanol is general term for methanol produced from captured CO2, which includes the more specific subtypes such as green and renewable methanol. This climate solution is already growing rapidly and can be implemented on a large scale. It is produced from CO2 and hydrogen and can be used to replace fossil fuels as well as make products like plastic. Shown here is a commercial-scale recycled carbon methanol plant in China that produces in approximately 110,000 metric tons of this product each year. Carbon Recycling International has built this plant and is developing several more in other countries. The demand for renewable methanol is growing quickly. For example, the global shipping company, Maersk, announced it is planning to purchase 730,000 tons per year of renewable methanol by end of 2025. This amount of renewable methanol will effectively reduce the emissions of their shipping activities by about 1 million tons of CO2 per year. The demand for renewable methanol is growing very quickly. For example, according to BIS Research, the global renewable methanol market is projected to reach $3 billion by 2031 from $0.12 billion a decade earlier, which is a compounding annual growth rate of in the range of 40%. Another significant climate solution is biochar, which is made by heating biomass in an oxygen-limited environment. Along with storing carbon in soil for hundreds of years, biochar enables this soil to grow significantly more food. As shown in this image, there is substantially more crop growth in soil that has been enhanced with 15 tons of biochar per hectare than soil with no biochar. There is a wide range of technologies that can produce biochar. One technology that can produce biochar on a large scale is a gasifier-based system developed by a company called ICM. A set of 2 of their Model 300 gasifier units can produce over 100 tons per day of biochar as well as 16 megawatts of electrical power when operating. This biochar production and power generating system can be combined with a turquoise hydrogen system and methanol production system to produce 4 valuable products, which includes reliable electrical power, biochar, hydrogen and methanol. Similar to the combination of technologies shown earlier, this configuration of technologies is not dependent on any one technology. There are now multiple options for each technology area. As a result, companies that want to implement this combination of technologies have many choices and can and should choose their best options. You may recall hearing about the $100 million X Prize for carbon removal a few years ago that has been funded by Elon Musk. It has already made an impact, and I expect it will make an even larger impact in the future. In April 2022, 15 winners of Musk-backed X Prize Carbon Challenge were revealed. They each received $1 million for their prize. To win the $50 million grand prize, teams must show a pathway to achieving a scale of gigatons per year in future. One of winners is Heirloom, which is scheduled to operate their first 17,000-ton facility in 2026 and 100,000-ton facility in 2027. All the winners of this prize are working very hard to scale up their respective climate solutions so they can win the grand prize or at least be a runners-up to this competition on Earth Day 2025. Shown next is a short animation illustrating the Heirloom's climate solution.
Heirloom is tackling climate change by removing 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by 2035 using our direct air capture technology. In nature, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is permanently stored in limestone. Our technology accelerates this process from years to days. Heirloom takes crushed limestone and heats it in a kiln powered by renewable energy. This process separates it into carbon dioxide and calcium oxide powder and then extracts the CO2 to be stored permanently underground. Next, we hydrate the calcium oxide powder with water to form calcium hydroxide and spread the powder onto large trays. Over roughly 3 days, the calcium hydroxide powder captures carbon dioxide from the air and becomes limestone. We send the limestone back to the kiln where the entire cycle begins again. Modular, scalable, low cost, restoring balance to our atmosphere.
The Trillion Tree Program is a very ambitious program that being led by the Wildlife Conservation Society, WWF and BirdLife International that could potentially capture hundreds of billions of tons of carbon dioxide. For example, NASA reported on a study that indicated that planting 500 billion trees could capture about 205 gigatons of carbon dioxide by the time they are fully grown. A very impressive new initiative called the Global Climate Finance Accelerator has been launched in collaboration with the University of Toronto's Rotman School of Management. Their mission is to leverage interdisciplinary expertise in science, engineering, finance, and policy to adapt mainstream business and investment practices to help finance climate action on a large scale. They operate on a not-for-profit basis, investing revenues back into this accelerator for growth and cost recovery. In conclusion, the amount of renewable energy generated at this time is substantially smaller than the energy generated by fossil fuels. Based on rising global CO2 levels, the total energy demand appears to be rising faster than renewable energy generation. Although the challenge to reduce emission is extremely large, technologies exist that can be implemented on a sufficient scale. Projects with proven technologies can be integrated to maximize impact in a profitable way and be replicated on a substantial scale. The recently launched Global Climate Finance Accelerator brings key resources to help implement projects that can make a substantial impact. Since there are now many proven technologies that can be integrated to maximize impact in a profitable way, companies have many choices and should choose their best options. To accelerate climate action, investors should invest in businesses and/or projects that are scaling up proven technologies. Since the Global Climate Finance Accelerator can help accelerate projects, investors should consider investing in companies that are being supported by this accelerator. Other universities should review the Global Climate Finance Accelerator model and consider collaborating with them to implement this model to help scale up climate action. As the UN Secretary General says, our world should take climate action on all fronts. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. If you are interested in more detailed information about these opportunities, including links to websites of organizations mentioned in this video, please visit climatesan.org/lsca.